What's happening, good people? What's good in the neighborhood? What's going on? Speaking of neighborhood, you safe? I'm sorry. That was a bad joke. That was a bad joke. I'm not even gonna finish it. That was a bad joke. Already, I can't even come in here without cutting up. Yes, indeed. It was a bad joke. I decided I wasn't gonna tell it. For all those folks that called in yesterday, thank y'all so much. Boy, that conversation kept going all day yesterday, all night yesterday. I had more people calling me about that conversation and just conversating about, should we be out there in the streets? Should we not be out there in the streets? Those folks having their own back. And then afterwards, maybe we should come after them. So I said, Gerard, should you carry on this conversation on today? And I said, yeah, go through the news, but carry on some of that conversation. Are we supposed to be out in the streets with our folks out here that's saying, hey, they are taking the Latino population and downsizing it because they taking them out of here and even going into the schools and getting them. Now, they say they're supposed to be in the neighborhoods removing those bad people, gang members, MS-13 and all of that, but they're going after regular citizens. Regular folks that just happen to have a little melanin in their skin and may talk another language. And if you look like you might be Mexican, you could get removed. You can get removed.
We better not go anywhere.
No, I was getting ready to say. But you know what? One of the questions I asked, though, Wick, for real, I was like, they downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to get gangs, maybe some of them folks from MS-13.
You need to go to East L.A.
I thought you'd be in South Central.
Nah, East L.A.
East L.A.
East L.A. But honestly, I went back home in January, and it's really the scene has changed out there.
They done gentrified it.
Yeah, I mean, you got Latinos all in South Central,
Yeah,
in Watts,
yeah.
Carson, even up in Compton. I mean, they're all over the place now.
In Compton.
Yeah, I mean, the Latinos are all over the place. One time they used to just be centralized
Right.
in East L.A.,
Mm-hmm.
but not anymore. Crenshaw has completely changed. It doesn't look like the same Crenshaw that we knew from back in the day.
Crenshaw, wait a minute. By the swap meet?
No, that's on Slauson. Crenshaw, down there where Magic Johnson's theater used to be, the Broadway,
Right. Okay.
all that stuff. Go see Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal.
It's changed?
Oh, it's changed. L.A., they have a trolley on Crenshaw. Yeah. White people now stay in the jungle.
Wow.
Asian people stay in the jungle.
It got gentrified.
Oh, yeah, big time.
That's the same thing that's happening in New York and Harlem. Because Harlem, everybody thought about Harlem. That was the mecca of New York for black people, no matter if you were Jamaican, Dominican Republic, if you're Dominican, any type of Latino Dominican. I mean, black people in there, they end up talking two languages just because that's who your neighbor is.
Yep.
But I think, well, this is my personal opinion. I don't have the statistics, but I think Harlem got gentrified soon as Bill Clinton
Oh,
moved his
Harlem.
office.
Harlem has been gentrified.
Yep. When Bill Clinton moved his office to Harlem, to me, that was the signal of going in there.
As soon as you see a
You'll be all right.
Starbucks, you know a change is going to come.
That in the bike lane.
Yeah, well, definitely. I see bike lanes in the east, but I haven't seen a change yet.
They coming.
Oh, but now I will
You talking about
admit,
in the east?
I have seen there have been a couple of white couples.
I was talking to one of my my friends. I call her like my one of my big sisters. And she was telling me, she said, my neighborhood, they done built like 5 or 6 houses in there. And I said, in your neighborhood? She said, yeah. And it's all white people moving out off of Chef.
Yeah, I saw some on Bullet the other day. I'm seeing them walking down Lake Forest with their little Fifi dogs.
They coming. And I'm like, wow. But watch what happens. Soon as they get up in there, they like the East has become a Mecca again.
Yeah.
Because I'm still waiting to see what they're going to do with, and I was talking to Cindy Wynn Sunday.
Yeah, she's running again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She's actually having her announcement with her team on Sunday. And
it was all over Facebook.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it right now. And she was basically saying that, there's a lot of things that's going on in the East that need to be promoted and talked about.
Oh, yeah.
So she's now getting ready to start up doing all of her Facebook Live things again every Sunday. Because, when she was in last time,
I used to enjoy those.
She used to do her Facebook Live conversation every Sunday on Facebook.
I used to watch them.
She started it up last weekend on Sunday. I think it was at 5 o'clock. So, yeah, we know she's running. I also heard from the horse's mouth, this is not speculation, this is him telling me that he was running. John Johnson is going to run again. Yep. He about to run again, too. And
you see my face, right?
I've asked several other folks where they're going to run, and they haven't decided yet. One of them was Jason Hughes. I asked him, but...
Oh, really?
I asked him, was he going to run? He did not. He did not. And let me make sure I say this right. He did not give me a definite. So I don't know if he's going to run or not. Trying to think, who else? It was somebody else I talked to. They said they were thinking about it.
Heard you were running.
No, I'm running for my life. That's all. That's all. When they say I'm running, yep, fist boots on the ground for real. Nah, I cannot run for an office. I can't play them games. I cannot do it. And then I don't know. There's so many I've never seen a city that needs so much and the officials refuse to work with other elected officials and then get on social media and dog them out. I've never seen this. To me, that's just my personal opinion. No, not yet.
Not yet.
No. We ain't gonna do that today. I'm waiting for some things to come through. But I've never seen other public officials that are elected too so critical of other folks, and you ain't hitting on duty squad neither. I mean, getting on social media, just blasting people. I've never seen it. And you're an elected official. I thought your job was to help that person, work with that person, not sit up there and talk about them like they owe you money. And that's what I'm starting to see a lot of. I saw J.P. Morrell doing it to the sheriff. And I was sitting up there saying to myself, dude, there's enough blame to go around, and you part the blame. And I don't know if he really understand that. But I don't talk to him no more, no way, so he don't mean jack doo-doo to me.
Jack doo-doo?
Jack doo-doo.
In the words of Mr. King of the Rodney persuasion, can't we all just get along?
Evidently not. Evidently not. Because I think I think that is counterproductive, number one. And if you got a problem, how you fix it? You sit up there being critical and telling the people that they ain't this and they ain't that. But what about those folks that saying it about you? They just ain't cheap enough.
A lot of finger
To-
pointing
to
and no
go-
accountability.
None. Yeah, but they not cheap enough to go on social media and sit there in front of a damn Captain America shield to talk about it. That's some of the worst mess I've ever seen. And yeah, I'm talking about him because I have the right to. That's why I can't run for no office, because y'all don't want me in no office, because that to me is just like childish.
I'm
Some-
turning my mic off now because I don't want to get implicated in
Somebody
anything.
Give that fool a daggone what do you call them thing? A nook. Let him suck on that titty. Now, and like I did before, and I do it again. I said what I said. And if they don't like it, call Troy Henry. He'll hang up on you too. Now, I dare you to call him as much as you done tried to drag him through the mud. And I said what I said for them other people that's going to get on this link today and try to take up on. I said what I said. He could suck on the titty. Now, back to my other conversation. You back?
I'm trying not to hit that dump button.
Are you back?
I'm back.
I'm thinking about this, and I got hooked on CNN last night. I hadn't been hooked on CNN in a long time.
I quit watching the news.
But, you know, they do that 30-minute news cycle. So I'm waiting to see the updates on what it is. So I called a couple of my legislative friends out of D.C. I'm waiting to see what day I'm going to be able to get them on the air, because I do have some of my legislative friends that are on that are out of D.C., and I'm trying to get them to come on the show. And the reason why, I'm feeling like somebody has violated the Constitution, the law, or something when it comes to these 2,000 National Guards and these 700 Marines that own here, that own this job, going to California. I'm like, wait a minute. But Gavin Newsom, who is the governor, didn't call for that. And now we have these folks sitting back forgetting what? Posse Comitatus. They're forgetting that you're not supposed to have, unless we're under some insurrection, which we're not, that they can't handle it, that they couldn't get their police or the sheriff's department to handle. Why are we having Trump to send in 2,000 National Guard, 700 Marines, plus you got ICE. We don't even know how many ICE. Plus you got LAPD. Plus you got the Sheriff's Department. Plus you got other federal agencies that are already in Los Angeles. So why are we sending in 2,000 troops? And I think they just sent another 2,000.
And where are they sleeping?
On the floor.
You saw that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No fuel, no lodging, no food.
Nothing.
Just send them out there.
And I'm saying to myself, for what reason?
He's stroking his ego.
But I think it's against the law.
It's not a big ego either.
Is what?
It's not a big ego.
Yeah, nothing else.
I just hate him. I'm trying to
Yeah,
stay on that side of the road where I don't go into that realm. 'Cause you know how much I hate him.
Yeah, nothing else then.
No, I ain't nothing else.
Okay. It's all right. I got you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, nothing else.
Nada.
Mm-mm. But I done got to the point now where I'm sitting back and saying to myself, who from Washington, D.C. should be all over the news saying this can't happen, it shouldn't happen, it won't happen, and we're going to make sure that it doesn't happen. And Gavin Newsom already done told him, you want to arrest me? Bring it on, big boy.
Come on, Cletus, come on.
You're a big boy. Come on, get some of this. Come on, get some of this. I'm like, okay. But something that was said this morning, as I was watching CNN, and then I switched over to ABC, and Joy Behar from The View said something that was really relevant to the point. And that was, this hasn't happened since they went into Kent College and had that type of military presence, and they had that at Kent University. But what has happened at Kent College, we should make sure that we learned from that. And that was somebody got killed during that time. And I'm thinking that somebody might get killed during this time. I swear I hope not. But somebody should learn something from that time. I'm just saying. All right, we got to take the break. We'll take the break here. We'll come back, take some of your telephone calls. 504-582-9422. What do you think? Should we be out there at all? All right, more coming up.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of the Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month by the community scientists at Rise St. James. This month, we spotlight phthalates, chemicals added to plastics, especially PVC, to make them more flexible and durable. But there's more. Research shows phthalates may disrupt hormones, affect reproductive health, and contribute to environmental pollution impacting our communities. Join us as we explore how these additives shape our everyday lives and the world around us. For more details, visit risestjames.org. Empower your knowledge with Rise.
Hey, New Orleans, look for important changes to your natural gas service. This summer, Delta Utilities takes over for Entergy Gas with a Louisiana-born, Louisiana-based approach to safe, clean, reliable natural gas. No interruptions or rate changes due to the transition, just dependable service and modernized technology to keep you running smoothly. Get to know us at deltautilities.com and stay tuned for more later this summer. Delta Utilities, focused on natural gas, committed to New Orleans.
Accru NOLA invites you to join their community network in celebration honoring Juneteenth and Pride Month. On Thursday, June 19th, diverse professionals will gather for FET by Accru, an evening of authentic connection and collaboration from 5 to 8 p.m. at the lab on Ursulines Avenue. This safe, inclusive space brings together innovators across the greater New Orleans area and the Gulf South for meaningful conversations that advances your business and professional career. Accru creates pathways for sustainable growth through genuine community. So for driven networking like this, learn more at accrunola.com/RSVP.
Hello, I'm Gary Clark. Please tune in to Dr. Clark 101, The Living Classroom, which is broadcasted weekly every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. on WBOK 12:30 a.m. on your dial. And as always, it's been a pleasure.
making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. I just pulled this up. Knowing everybody else, if you want to check this out, it's called The Conversation. It's an actual posting in the address online. If you want to go to it, it's The Conversation, like one word, theconversation.com. The title of the article that I had pulled up that I wanted to bring to the table today, the name of it is from Kent State. I said Kent University or Kent College before, but it's Kent State. Kent State to Los Angeles. From Kent State to Los Angeles. Using armed forces to police civilians is a high-risk strategy. Responding to street protests in Los Angeles against federal immigration enforcement raids. Donald Trump ordered 2,000 soldiers from the California National Guard into the city on June 7th to protect agents carrying out the raids. Trump also authorized the Pentagon to dispatch regular U.S. troops as necessary to support the California National Guard. The president's orders did not specify rules of engagement about when and how force could be used. California Governor Gavin Newsom, who did not request the National Guard and asserted it was not needed, criticized the president's decision as inflammatory and warned it will only escalate tensions. The lady who wrote this says, I am a historian who's written several books about the Vietnam War, one of the most divisive episodes in our nation's past. My recent book, Kent State, An American Tragedy, examines a history clash on May 4th, 1970, between anti-war protesters and National Guard troops at Kent State University in Ohio. The confrontation escalated into violence. Troops opened fire on the demonstrators, killing 4 students and wounding 9 others, including one who was paralyzed for life. In my view, dispatching California National Guard troops against civilian protesters in Los Angeles chilling echoes decisions and actions that led to the tragic Kent State shooting. Some active duty units, as well as National Guard troops, are better prepared today than in 1970 to respond to riots and violent protests. But the vast majority of their training and their primary mission remains to fight, to kill, and to win wars. That says a whole lot. To fight, to kill, and to win wars. What you say, Cedric?
Hey there, man. I was sitting here at Captain Charles Snowball stand, and we were pretty much having this similar conversation. But you know now, Gerard, and I hope Dr. Shepard has listened. The mere fact that we're having this conversation again today, that means she was right. You know, and I
ain't
do
playing
believe,
with you. I ain't even listening to you on that. No, don't
yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't hang up on me. Listen, we need to be preparing what's our next move while they're doing what they're doing. You're right. You're right. They need to learn. They need to learn and whatever. But what are we doing?
But that's why I keep saying what I'm saying. Maybe I'm not explaining it correctly when I tell you. I'm telling us that we
Cap
need to
said, "What's up, Gerard?"
Oh, Cap. What's it say? What you
Gerard
say?
said, "Whoa, Cap." Yeah, man.
But I'm thinking that we need to be sitting back. We need to be sitting back and saying, we're going to see what's going to happen, because I'm looking at our people and saying, are we paying attention, or are we still out here trying to learn how to do this lion dance to put our boots on the ground? We need to be paying attention and preparing ourselves for what's happening. Not out here fighting somebody else's fight. That ain't my fight. And I keep hearing everybody say, no, you need to get on out here and help your brother man. Okay. I need to be preparing you. I need to be preparing all these folks that ain't paying attention. That's what we need to be doing.
Gerard, no disrespect. We need to get it together. Right here in New Orleans, we cannot stay out of Rouse's.
Nope.
And you had a president, you pardoned people that violated the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you're sending troops Man, we ain't even in a pickle no more. We're in a pickle juice.
And,
But what are we
and
doing?
look, we didn't
what
have
are
no
we doing
troops.
here?
They ain't had no troops out there when they invaded the Capitol.
and to bring it back here, you know, the city council president, you're doing another video on the sheriff and what she's doing wrong. But are you taking fault at the lack of finances, which comes from the city council, which comes from the city, the mayor's office? And again, as per state law, it is the responsibility of the governing parish to fund a jail within this parish.
Well, think about something. It took Ann Kirkpatrick to say, and this is no disrespect to her, but it took her to sit at the desk and say that the rats are getting high when she was talking about one of the buildings. And the biggest slumlord in the city of New Orleans is the city of New Orleans. They don't take care of none of their buildings.
And again, man, I go back to Chief Kirkpatrick when she, at the first meeting that the sheriff had, Chief Kirkpatrick got up from the rostrum and she looked at the sheriff and she told her,
"Good luck."
Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
And you felt the sincerity in it. But where's the sincerity of the city council? And who's going to stand up to the bully on the city council like we got to stand up to bullies that be in the thread on WBOK's page? You have a good one.
Oh, Lord. Ain't he going to say that? All right, Cedric. Oh, boy. Mr. Elmore.
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, you know, I can remember, 1970, because you understand, I was in high school then. Well, I'm saying you understand, you don't. I graduated from Clark in 1970, and I went to Vietnam State High School. But let me tell you what I do believe in. I believe in our Constitution. And I do believe that free speech, even though I'm a Vietnam vet, proud to say that, I do respect other people who disagree with us being there. Okay? But to add on what the discussion was yesterday, I partially, if you remember, because she kind of partially corrected me in terms of what I was saying, I overwhelmingly, now let's talk about facts, overwhelmingly, yes, she brought up the fact that Black Lives Matter. And you had Korean students in Seoul, Korea demonstrating. The comical thing about that, if you will, Korea is very strict protests. How dare you protest about America when they wouldn't even let them protest things in their own country, but just go they allow Korean students to protest in Korea about Black Lives Matter, which was great they did that. But again, I partially disagree with it yesterday because I've never seen overwhelmingly Hispanic Americans, overwhelmingly Asian Americans, Muslims, overwhelmingly speaking for us. And listen, I do remember, I don't forget. I've heard discussions, and you had mentioned, Gerard, overwhelmingly I agree with you. As you said, you're tired of fighting for people who don't fight for us. Mm-hmm. And you're making a very good point with it. I'm not saying be no, I ain't saying be island where I don't want to help nobody. But overwhelmingly, my position is, let's help each other out. Help brothers. Let's help a brother out.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of people in the groups, they don't help. Look, Hispanics, they're smiling in your face when they work at your house, but they ain't for us. Come on, let's be real. Mm-hmm. Listen, they had 5, I live in New Orleans East, we had 5 Hispanic-run grocery stores. The reason why I got those grocery stores all black folks working at black folks' homes. Let's be real about that. Nothing against them, but what I'm saying is they ain't really for me and you. I'm not saying racially. I'm not anti-racial, Hispanic, culturally. But again, let's support our own people. Let's talk. And there may be some people that may not like what I'm saying. Hey man, I got it. I ain't mad at you because you disagree with me.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying what I said. I'll say it again. I just want to see somebody stand for me. I want to see somebody stand for you.
Well, and Gerard, you ain't too. I'm not that far on the street with you. I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I totally agree with you, brother.
Yep. So, and I know the empathy. And let me make sure that I say this too, because this should go along with my Stan. I understand one thing that I understand about black folks. Now, we may not agree all the time, but we have a lot of empathy for things that we know aren't right. And I think black folks are some of the most, how can I put this, empathizing. When things are wrong, we forgive. When things are wrong, we stand and we want to make sure that, people know that we're not animals and we're not really that way. That's just the nature of many black folks. Now, there's some out here that are rut gull, but I'm looking around and saying to myself, the majority of us, we will give the shirt off our back to help people. But I keep hearing my own folks saying, we can't expect nobody else to come in here and do for us. We're gonna have to do it ourselves. Even the people that's on this daggone radio station that call this show, man, if you want to do something, we gotta do it ourselves. Well, when we gonna do something for ourselves? Here's your opportunity. Do something for you. Stand back. Let those folks take the lead, because this is on them. We need to learn from what's happening right now so that we'll be prepared when it come knocking on our door. Because it's coming.
And Gerard, I totally agree with you. And Gerard, I totally agree with you. And let me give you an example. I don't even feel sorry for him, because I'm not gonna mention where I work at. But I call enough where you may have a hint, but I'm not gonna give you that hint. Whoever's listening. But the thing about it, Gerard, they have a lot of Hispanics work in New Orleans, and I don't really know what their status are, but I could give a rat's butt. But the bottom line is, a lot of them. One was crying to a coworker that her dad was pulled out, and she wanted to know what advice she could get. I said, "Well, good luck." The bottom line is, a lot of them voted for him. I ain't saying all of them did. A lot of Hispanics voted for Trump. Guess what? You got what you asked for. You wished for. Good luck to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
now that might sound like I'm an asshole, but I'm not.
All right, there, Mr. A-hole. So I'm gonna let you go on that one here. I'll talk to you later. Let me get these other calls.
Now, you see, I don't be you were friends, man.
Yeah, you just called yourself that, so I want to let you go on that one. All right, let me get these other calls.
No, but I don't be you were friends, bro.
We are friends. You
right,
said
brother.
that. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, man.
All righty.
All right.
T-Bone.
Hey, Brother G, what's going on?
You the man.
Well, look, let me reiterate my point. But let me say this. To the good doctor who was here on yesterday, I did respect her viewpoints. I agree with some of it, but I can't agree with 100% of it.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why. Again, something has got to happen to motivate both brown and black people in this situation. If a youngster, a child, a teenager or something is out there in the midst of those protests and gets hurt, that will unite. If somebody else loses their life behind this thing, that will unite. And the reason why I'm saying this, because a lot of people don't like history, a lot of people don't know history, didn't want to do it when they was in school, but guess what? This is history repeating itself.
Go back to Kent State.
If you don't believe me, look up Pan-Africanism, Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was trying to start a movement to go back to Africa.
Mm.
Do you know who supported him? The Ku Klux Klan.
Mm.
People don't think about that. You know why they supported him?
They want you out.
They wanted us gone. This is the first step in Trump and his supporters getting us gone, people. This is why you have to learn your history. You have to learn the tactics that the enemy is trying to pull.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of them. This is one of them. If they can get Latinos out of this country, they will go for the Haitians, which they already are. They will start going for the Africans, the pure Africans that are in this country. Guess who's next? You.
Mm-hmm.
You who who are of African descent that calls yourself an African American. You can call yourself black. You can go all the way back to Negroid if you want. If you don't look like them, and this continues, you are next. That is why I say, let's see how this goes. Because you see, if these people don't push back, and if Trump doesn't fold, it's going to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
California, it has one of the biggest Hispanic populations, but it's a blue state. Remember what I said. It's a blue state. I told you this yesterday. He's not going into Texas having this issue because his boy is running that, Greg Abbott. He's not going into New Mexico with it. He's not going to a state that is blue, other state that is blue, that has a Republican governor. He is strictly going after California right now. Why? They've been on his radar for a long time. A long time. Mm-hmm. He has no disregard, does not care what happens to any of those protesters. Let's remember, this is the same one that had nothing to say about that Charlotte thing. Remember? Mm-hmm. A young lady got ran over in Charlotte. Or have we forgotten? That's some history, too.
You're talking about Charlottesville?
Yes. Mm-hmm. But how soon we forget? Well, we forgot. And this is the problem I have with those black voters that voted for Trump, with those Latino voters that voted for Trump. This is not like it's his first term. You saw this before. He had a crowd that was protesting near the White House. Dispersed in much the same way. Just to walk in front of a church with a Bible held upside down, people. Yeah, now, if he has the temerity to spit in the face of God himself, what makes you think he cares about these people? Or you? I don't understand why nobody sees this for what it is. Yeah. And why are you surprised at this? Why are you surprised? Why?
I don't think nobody's surprised. I don't think people are surprised. I think
people are. I think the good doctor was, because she's like, no, we need to stick together. It shouldn't be like this. It's not going to be like this forever.
I mean, you got to remember who she is. She's a doctor. She's a fighter. She's going to be out there with folks helping out. I don't think she's surprised about it. I think that what she was doing is trying to talk about the humanitarian part of it. So
there's nothing humane about what Donald J. Trump is doing.
None. That's why she's saying get out there and help fight.
None. You understand? He wants this fight. And you know why he wants this fight? He wants those same type of people who are the true insurrectionists on January 6th to stand up and stand by. Well, he wants them to be able to come out in the streets with their guns, with their pepper spray, with all the weapons they came to the Capitol with, and fight off the non-patriots.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if they are on the way to California.
I'm not surprised either. And there was this other group, I can't remember what their name is. They're like the Ku Klux Klan. They're walking around on in sunglasses and a hat on. And they've showed up in various cities. I forgot what their name is. I just saw something on them the other day. You need to watch out for them people.
You talking about the Proud Boys?
No, this is another group. This is another group. Organized. All white. Look it up. Now, I'm going to tell you what else to be concerned with. Where's our black preachers?
What do you mean?
Don't go quiet now.
No.
I don't want y'all to go quiet now.
What are you asking?
See y'all black preachers? You were the leaders of the civil rights movement back in the day. I don't hear none of y'all saying nothing.
No, this ain't our fight. What you want them to talk about? This ain't our fight. Why you want the black?
It is a humanitarian
where are
issue.
the Latino
It
preachers?
is a humanitarian issue, but guess what? The only black person I've seen stand up so far and speak out about this, no, two people. Think about this range. Maxine Waters and Ducci, of all people, on the BET Awards. They're the only two people so far.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the rest of the black leaders? That is our problem as a race. We don't have strong enough leaders anymore to stand up. The Democratic Party, they're sitting on their hands too. They're not standing up well enough. Maxine was the only one without there for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where is Pelosi? That's your state.
She's retired.
She still has the right to speak up. She still has a voice. I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
See, and that is why nobody has any confidence in the Democratic Party. I'm with John Pierre. We need a third party. We need somebody to come up, and we need it now. You hear that, DNC? This is your opportunity. If you miss it, you're gone.
All right, T-Bone. Let's take our break.
All
brother.
right, y'all.
Appreciate you.
Stay up, baby.
All right, more coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Plan on flying? It's time to upgrade to a Real ID. Because in order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a Real ID, or you'll need another acceptable form of identification. So don't wait. Find out how to get your Real ID at tsa.gov/RealID. That's tsa.gov/RealID. Or visit your local DMV. And then you'll be cleared for takeoff.
Connect with NOLA Public Schools. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X for the latest updates. Sign up for District Digest, our official newsletter where we share district achievements, celebrate student successes, and keep you informed about our vision of providing a high-quality education. And don't miss our school board meetings. Watch in person or live stream on YouTube. Stay informed. Stay engaged. Visit NOLAPublicSchools.com today. Again, that's NOLAPublicSchools.com.
Hi, this is Arnie Filko. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events to sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join Carrie and I every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Carrie Show. See you soon.
People in our community are faced with a 25-year life expectancy decrease compared to the rest of New Orleans. That is unacceptable. Patients should trust NOE because we're not just physicians and nurses.
It's a family, and it's an honor and privilege to care for my neighbors, my friends, the patients here in the New Orleans East community.
Call 504-592-6600 to schedule an appointment or visit noehospital.org.
New Orleans East Hospital, now accepting new patients, now accepting you.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
WBOK. Listen now on WBOK1230.com.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Oh, man. So they got us out there in the streets. I'm looking at it live right now. I want y'all to hear exactly what's going on. So the crew that is out in the streets for CNN is a black crew. They are arresting them.
Did you see the one where the reporter got shot in the leg with the rubber bullet?
Check this out. Can y'all hear that?
They're under arrest because you're with press, okay? Okay. But we have to take you out of the circle. We're going to direct you in the direction that you need to go. Okay. Come back, okay? Do not come back. Do not come back. Okay, got it. Be arrested. Got it. This is the crew right here. Let's go. Is your whole crew over here? Is your whole crew right here? Yep. This is. We're gonna take them all out one at a time, so you guys all catch up at the other end. Okay. Walk straight down this way. We're gonna walk. Officers are gonna walk you down that way. Okay. Okay. So what I need from you is to put your hands behind your back. They're gonna walk you. Okay. Hold on.
Put your hands behind your back. They putting cuffs on them. It's a black crew from CNN.
That's not by accident.
Nope. No. We'll come back to that. I'll try to get it on so we can really hear it.
Yeah, because little Snowflake got shot in the leg.
Yeah, she got shot.
So now they're going to send the black people out there.
Yep. Jason.
What's happening, G?
Oh, bro. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up.
Man, don't do that. Look, I called yesterday and I talked with you and Dr. Shepard, and after 24 hours of thinking about it and reconsidering, man, I'm gonna be honest, G, I agree with you yesterday, and
don't change your mind. Don't change your mind.
I still agree with you. Nothing's changing, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you said it a few minutes ago. No one fights for us.
No one.
No one. No Hispanics, no Asians, no black immigrants, no Caribbeans. No one fights with African Americans, a.k.a. Negroes, a.k.a. ADOS, and FBAs. No one fights for us.
Nope.
Why? What are we doing? What are we doing here? It's time for us to sit back. I never forget after the election in November, when they called it for Trump, if everybody remember, people was hurt on social media. And what did we say as a black community? We're going to sit back and sit down for the next 4 years.
Yep.
That was the slogan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of a sudden, we are being called upon from the black immigrant community to the Asian community to the Latin community. All of a sudden, all you see up and down social media is, where's the black community? We came out in November. Call us in 4 more years. It's over.
Yep.
Y'all voted the way y'all voted. And that's all it is. And one more thing I want to address, G. I heard a couple callers say it, and I see it up and down my timeline. Because people keep saying, man, black people, we got to stick together because it could be us next. It could be us.
I was like, what y'all talking about? It's been us.
It's been us. Gee, you know
what y'all talking about? It could be us next. That's what I told Dr. Shepard yesterday. I was like, where y'all been for the last 400 years?
Come from, G? Los Angeles SWAT team? That was for us. It was created for us. Hundreds of years of dealing with this.
I don't think anybody remember. What was the name of the movie? What was the name of the movie that I saw? Was that what was that? What was that movie when Ice Cube and all of them were coming out the studio?
NWA.
NWA.
NWA movie.
They were coming out the studio.
Straight out of Compton.
Straight out of Compton. They were coming out the studio just to take a break, and they were standing in front of the studio on the corner of the building, and LAPD drove up on them, cussed them out like they had done something. He's like, man, we just standing here, and made them get down on their knees. And then the black guy that was the cop was the worst one.
Yep.
And I'm saying to myself, this ain't got nothing to do with us. This got everything to do with them and who we are. I don't care if they black. It's them.
Ooh.
And I just said to myself, y'all, we've been through this. This ain't nothing new for us. We've always been looked at. We've always been identified as going into stores and maybe a shoplifter and have somebody follow you around, or be walking in your neighborhood and you got a Karen that comes up and say, what are you doing here? Or if you're walking on the side of the street and somebody that has another nationality is walking on the same side of the street with you, they'll cross over or grab their purse. Or if you're pulling up to the stoplight and you have a black man standing at that corner, they'll reach over and lock the door. We've always been identified as something bad. If you look at the word black up in the dictionary, it ain't nothing good. But look up white in the dictionary. It's called pure. And I'm just saying to myself, yeah, I know what we're saying as far as empathy is concerned, but at some point, I need somebody to be able to stand up and say, you know what? We'll stand for y'all. We'll stand for y'all.
Thank you.
We only 13% of the whole nation, but we the first incarcerated and the most incarcerated. Why? Because we so bad?
Nope.
Or is it because we get hit with every type? And I mean, I was listening to, I was sitting there listening to the Nation of Islam broadcast, and they were talking about, you got to look at the difference between what crack cocaine is and what white cocaine is. When you're talking about charges.
Yep.
So I was on my soapbox, bro. I'm finished.
No, gee, I totally agree. And the last thing I'm gonna say, that's why I get so confused when I hear my people saying we're next. We're not next. That's why I don't like when people fall for the propaganda and the programming.
I'm with you. Folks don't need to be saying we next. We were first.
Always there. We still there.
And we ain't finished.
Nope. Another thing that gets to me, oh man, they're gonna deport everybody and we next. We not going nowhere. For anything that happened to us, the African Americans walking this land, they got to open up the books and tell us who we really are and where we really came from, and they don't want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to repeat. For them to take us out of here, they got to open the books and tell us who we really are and where we really came from. You know the copper-colored people that was already walking this land when it was invaded?
Right.
Come on, people, we're not going nowhere.
Did you see, did you by any chance watch the French Open this weekend?
Yes, sir, I did.
When Coco won? You know what's overshadowing the fact that young lady, that African-American, beautiful young lady won the French Open? You know what's overshadowing that? That the white girl that she was playing with is making up excuses why she got beat by a black girl.
Again.
And it's overshadowing the fact that Coco Gauff won. She beat her. And the media is so interested in having a conversation with, what's that girl's name? Arna Sablinka or something of that sort.
Yeah.
They were expecting her to beat Coco Gauff. And I'm saying to myself, why y'all giving her time to say that? Why y'all giving her the microphone to say that? Y'all need to be talking to Coco Gauff.
The person that won.
Right. Yep. So those are the things that I'm saying to myself, okay, come on. Let's really have a conversation about who's next or talk about who's first and why I do believe. And listen, don't misinterpret me, Jason. I'll be the first one to get out there and hold a picket sign. But I want to do it for my people first.
Yes.
Not saying that we all together, because we ain't all together. We're not all together.
No. There's no black and brown coalition in solidarity.
Nope.
I never seen it.
Nope.
I never seen it.
Nope.
So if anyone could tell me where they seen it at, I will listen.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, G.
All right, Jace. Thank you, brother.
All right.
So I do believe, and I really do believe this, that sometimes you have to force your will on people for them to understand what it is that you're trying to get across. What are you saying, G? What are you saying? I'm basically saying this might be a lesson learned. My mama always said, a hard head make a soft you know what. So now you might understand why black folks have been saying to you for the entire time of eternity, we need to get together. We need to make sure this is I ain't saying that all black people are right, because we got some idiots too. But I am saying that the majority of us want to make sure that we're going to be treated well, just like anybody else. And I'd even go back to the time when we sat back and we were the Democrats and this, and we were the Democrats, and nobody came to our door and knocked on our door when they needed. But soon as we were getting ready to lose the car industry and all these folks, and we needed somebody to vote for this and for that, guess who they reached out to last? Us. Don't put me last. Put me first. Because we've been first in all the decrepit crap. Why can't we be first in something good? Yeah, I want to help other people, but I sure want them other people to help me too. Now, this might be a lesson learned. Might be. All right, come on. We got to do the news. We'll do the news here and we'll come back. We'll take some more of your telephone calls at 504-582-9422. Watch out, too, if you're driving. It looks like it got dark real quick outside, and it looks like it's raining, so please drive with care. More coming up, y'all. News is next.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Another ICE protest is happening in Manhattan's Foley Square. Black Mayor Eric Adams warned that lawlessness won't be tolerated.
The escalation of protests in Los Angeles over the last couple of days is unacceptable and would not be tolerated if attempted in our city.
Over 30 people were arrested yesterday during protests downtown and outside of Trump Tower. Black Maryland Senator Angela Alsobrooks slammed Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for firing the CDC's vaccine advisory panel, calling him a liar who puts quackery over public health. She's now calling for his resignation. An Oklahoma judge has granted John Hanson a temporary stay of execution. Hanson, who is black, was set to die Thursday, but his lawyers say his clemency hearing was unfair due to a conflict of interest. He's on death row for a 1999 double murder in Tulsa. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. My number 504-582-9422 to get in contact with us on this afternoon. Final hour for Tuesday. Y'all know we get out of here at 6 o'clock on Tuesday. And then, of course, we got the conversation with Arnie and Carrie. They'll be in at 6 o'clock to take you into the evening time. So make sure you check them out. I don't know where this is all going to as far as these protests. Y'all just heard Eric Adams in New York saying he's not going to tolerate these protests. I just think that Mr. Adams needs to understand, and we need to understand about Eric Adams, that he too was a cop before he became part of Trump's. Well, I don't know if he's part of Trump's. I'm just saying, allegedly. He trying to stay out of jail. And there ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. He trying to stay out of jail. Sometimes you in the political world. Let me tell you, politics, that's why I can't run. Because politics has some strange bedfellows. Sometimes when you think somebody against you, they end up being your closest ally because they got something to lose as well. Sometimes your deepest enemy is sitting right in front of your face and you don't even know it. But is that politics? Or is that just the way things happen today?
Did the lights just blink?
Yep.
Okay, I thought I was trying to make sure that wasn't my brain.
No, the lights just blinked. I told you, man, coming back. When I was coming in, this why I was like, good Lord.
Get to a certain age, you kind of short circuit every once in a while.
You can
I
be
just
old.
had to make sure it wasn't me.
You can be old. You old. That's right. I don't even know what I was saying. What was I saying for the light.
I forgot.
That
quick.
But I tell you, it's gonna be pretty tough.
It's dark out there.
It's dark. It look like nighttime. Yeah. I don't know if
It's
anybody
still
else.
not raining over here yet.
Huh?
It's still not raining over here yet.
It's gonna be terrible.
Terrible?
Terrible.
All right.
That's TURR.
Bull.
Bull. Mm-hmm. BULL. Yeah. So, getting back to what I was saying, I don't understand the concept that a lot of us see, and I don't know if that's a concept of a lot of us see, and then we try to make up every excuse to say why it happened. Oh, it happened because, they were mad. No. It happened because most of the folks are prejudiced or just racist. Your mama taught you better. You know better. And if you don't, you're going to FA and FO. Because a lot of us ain't in that same category as, operating like our ancestors did, operating like your mom and your grandmama did, and trying not to make no trouble. These folks today are like, if we can't get it the way that we supposed to get it and you try to take it away from me, I'm beating somebody down like they owe me money. These folks ain't playing with you these days. So I say to all African Americans, not just some, all of them, you put up a good fight, but your turn coming again. Let me say that again. Your time coming again. If nothing else, you need to be learning what tactics are going to be used. And look, I'm not talking about all the dudes that's got their gloves on, that's ready to get out here and beat some ass. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking to all the young folks that's going to school for law, constitutional law. I'm talking to all those folks that's working for these different projects and independent this and independent that, and we nonprofit this and nonprofit that. I'm talking to the folks that say, hey, we live in sanctuary cities. How are you preparing? It's knocking on your door. Don't tell me, we going to get out there and fight. Okay. Baby, was it you that voted for this crap? Was it? Did you read Project 2025? Hell, you can't say, I shouldn't even ask, did you read it? Did you listen to us read it to you? Did you listen to Joy Reid break it down on MSNBC? Why you think she ain't there no more? These folks ain't playing with you Negroes. Oh, Gerard, you're too dramatic. Really? Give them a choice. Stand somebody that looks like them and stand somebody that looks like you. Side by side. And there got to be a choice on who's going to be living and who's going to be a sacrifice. I can guarantee you might as well start calling folks right now and tell them, man, pray for me here. Because you're going to die. If they got to make a choice, between somebody that look like them and somebody that look like you. Who you think they're going to choose? Come on, for real. You don't identify that way. You don't match up. Your culture don't match up. They try to steal it all the time, but it don't match up and it don't go along with the program. It can't get it. Sure, we got some that are nice. Sure, we got some that want to hang around and see what you got to do. But I'm telling you, it don't. And there's a hard choice that's going to be made. You're going to lose. And you're going to be sitting back and say, well, what had happened? What had happened was you didn't really listen to what the people that look like you been saying. You've been getting out there, oh, I want to fight with them. This is a learning moment. We've already been through it. That's why I read to you the Kent State problem. What happened? This is going to end up being number 2. Y'all don't think nobody going to get shot? You don't think there's somebody going to die? Well, let me ask you this. All right, ring my phones up. Let me ring my. I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you to call me right now. 504-582-9422. I got a serious question to ask you. Are you gonna tell us the question first? Nope. You'll hear it when I ask the question. Come on, somebody take the quiz. It's only one question. I'll probably follow up with some questions, but it's only one question. Come on, 504-582-9422. This is not a dare. This is not going to put you on embarrassment or anything like that. This is a question I need to ask you. And it's legitimate. It's legitimate. I'm going to answer. Don't you answer. No, let me answer it. Let me answer it. Let me answer it. You got it? Who that is? Well, I sound like I'm really from New Orleans, don't I? Who that is? Huh? Mr. Bill? Player. There he is.
Paso. Yvette.
How you doing?
I know I haven't been participating, but I've been listening.
Yeah, I was about to ask you. That was my next question. Where you been?
Yeah.
You just
trying
been
to figure out which way up is.
You just been chilling. That's all. All right.
Pretty much.
All right, I got that question. You ready?
Okay, embarrass me. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna embarrass you. This is not an This is not that type of question. Because I know you wouldn't call if you thought it was.
I've been listening to a lot of the participants, and the brothers and sisters are saying some very strategic, pertinent things here. So I've just been listening. So
all right.
All right, I'm ready.
So the question that I have for everybody, since this LA riot issue, not LA riot, but LA ICE issue started, which has been what? It's been 3 weeks now, right? What have we learned? What have we learned from this?
I've learned that Donald Trump is trying to instigate the thing to where he could do more than shoot people in the legs.
Huh? No. I mean, no. Let's take him out of it. This whole incident from 3 weeks to now, if we had to put in order how it started, how it has persisted, what's going on, and what's the real meaning of it, what have we learned? How do we put this in order for us to say, yo, that ain't going to happen to us? What have we learned on why this is happening? What have we learned?
We should all look at ourselves in the mirror and say, okay, I'm classified as a black African American, and I will not survive this ordeal favorably.
Okay. But why has this happened?
Because folks, intimidated. Well, not intimidated, but they're angry that Trump is going along in the manner in which he's doing, snatching anyone who's Hispanic or looks Hispanic, have tattoos or what have you, just snatching folks up. Because your boy Stephen Miller has decided we're not picking up enough aliens, so he wants 3,000 aliens collected a day.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're talking about 3,000 immigrants a day, right?
A day. Okay.
All right. So have we learned how this is going to persist? How are they going to get that quota? What are they doing? Because the whole process has been touted to us that they're just getting gang members and bad people off the streets, right?
That was his campaign talk.
That was the campaign talk.
Uh-huh.
But they going into the schools.
Schools, job sites,
yep.
Construction sites.
They're going on the ones here. Did you see that on the news?
Here?
Uh-huh.
I haven't been glancing at too much local news because the national news is terribly strong.
You would have thought they had Road Runner and all the other cartoons out there on the job site. Around it was here. They went out there to go get them. They all had on their little yellow vest. Boy, they was running around that job site, cutting across the field. Riva, andale. It was Speedy Gonzalez leaving out of there. That happened here.
What location?
At one of the job sites where they were doing some type of building. They didn't give the location it was, but they had it on social media. They were running across the field.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Now, that ain't all. That ain't all. It's happening here too. Because guess what? One of the criticisms is of the jail. The AG wants to go into jail and find all the Latino folks, Mexicans or whatever, that are in jail waiting for trial. And by federal law, the sheriff can't let her do it. We under consent decree. That's one of the reasons why they're after her.
Did not Donald Trump vacate the consent decrees nationwide?
He didn't. Nope. He did not. So that's one of the issues why they mad at her here. So
ICE agents are forcing their way into all sorts of businesses,
and don't forget what New Orleans is. A sanctuary city.
Yeah.
So
he's starting with California because of the politics of Gavin Newsom and so forth.
Yep.
Mayor Bass.
Yep.
A big city, like you said the other day. Hell, why isn't he in South Central?
Yep. So
they know they're gonna get resistance there.
All right. But with all that happening, my question is, what have we learned from this? Are we really paying attention, or are we trying to jump in? Are we jumping into something that we really don't understand?
You're talking about the individuals who are out there with them, the blacks who are out there with them, or just us as a nation?
Yep. Anybody. Are we jumping in this because we see what's going down as far as, messing with our Latino brothers and sisters? Or are we really not understanding that this is a political move to remove these folks, and we're going to get caught up in it too?
Oh, yeah. But when you ask, and of course, I don't have an answer for it, but I was thinking, you saying, if one of them and one of us is standing there together, who you think's going to get it? First thing came to my mind, if a black and a white is doing a protest, just standing there holding signs, and they have authority to pull weapons, who's going to get the bullet first?
Yeah, well, you better call your next of kin.
Make sure your insurance is paid.
There you go. Get you some insurance. All right, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
Always good hearing from you, Mr. Bill.
I'm sorry I stayed away, but I've been listening.
I got you.
The time switches had an effect on that as well. So
yes, indeed. Okay. You ain't got to tell me. I'll be ready to go to sleep. So I'll talk to you later.
Man.
Thank you, sir.
Take it easy.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Gary.
Yeah, Gerard, this is something I got to tell you about, man. I went down to a hearing at the municipal of one of them council hearings last Thursday. It was about shutting down the Job Corps.
Yep.
And I wouldn't speak on behalf of the Job Corps, but let me tell you what I found, man. I got in there, and I was so disappointed. They only had, between me and 4 witnesses, 4 girls who was going to talk about how the Job Corps helped them, about 10 people all together in the whole building. Now, you only had 2 councilmen there for that whole hearing. Now, how in the world could this be legit when they held it, and I talked, and the other guy from Vote Talk, and those girls talk, and another person talked, but, man, that was a farce to me, bro.
Who heard it?
Because there wasn't nobody there, bro. How are we gonna keep the Job Corps operating or anything else operating for poor people that really need it? And nobody show up, bro. Ain't nobody showed up. There's no support for that at all, bro. Except, like I said, those two councilmen, Oliver and Morrell, the only 2 that was there. But no audience, really. None. So, man, we can't ever succeed in helping anybody do anything. Our poor people that really need it, the ones who go to the Job Corps, little boys and girls, lost in life, they have a chance to go there and turn their life around. And some of them do, bro. But without that support, without us, all of us giving some support, what's happening? I mean, that seemed like a farce hearing they had there for this. I think they should do it over again, man, because you only had 2 councilmen out of all of them. Just 2. And no more than probably 10 people.
You about right.
In the audience.
You think it was 10?
Was bad.
You think it was 10?
Huh?
I said you think it was 10?
It might not have been 10.
Nah, I don't think so.
It might have been less.
I think it was
It
less
might
than
have been
10.
less.
I hate to say that, and I wasn't being smart ass, but I do think it was less than 10.
It might have been, bro.
Yeah.
I can
appreciate that you gave them. I can appreciate that you gave them 10. I can appreciate that you gave them 10 to make it sound like it was 10 people. But when I say 10, I'm not talking about the people on the working the cameras or sitting on the desk. Yeah. I'm talking about the folks that are sitting in the audience. So yeah,
it was sad, bro. It was unbelievable to me, man. It's just unbelievable how uninvolved we are and how.
And our own demise.
Things happen, but we don't want to just even go out to defend it, man, or just be there. You know, I mean, it's sad.
Yeah, we're not involved in our own demise. There you go.
And our own, and because both, like I've been saying, and you've probably been saying this too. They're not socially conscious anyway. Because if you don't watch the news, if you don't teach your kid how to watch the news, they're not gonna grow up to be socially conscious. So 31% of them vote in elections.
Yep.
So what are we doing about it? Nothing.
Nothing.
The preachers in the pulpit ain't telling them, tell their kids vote. The social club, whoever they are, they not telling them, or whoever has a collective audience, a captive audience, should be telling their people how to live, man. Vote, watch the news, even if you don't like it. You need to do that. You know?
All right, Jerry. I got to take my break, man. I appreciate the call.
All right, man.
Thank you, man.
All right.
More coming up, y'all.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. Sports franchise valuations are skyrocketing and garnering a lot of attention from investors. Nicole Pullen-Ross is one of the highest-ranking black women on Wall Street, and she's head of sports and entertainment solutions at Goldman Sachs. And she spoke to Bloomberg about the different investors she works with in sports.
Some of our clients who are long-term investors in the space have been investing as a private family for generations. And those families have really leaned in mostly around passion. And we're seeing them look not only to the sport that they may have started with, but look at multiple sports, potentially in a same city or potentially across the world. And we see new investors who are trying to put a toe in the water.
A lot of these new investors are coming from private equity. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Now more than ever,
Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM, or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
NOLA Public Schools is excited for the rest of this 24-25 school year journey with our families, watching our students dive into learning, growth, and success. As the school year continues, our dedicated educators are focused on keeping every student engaged and motivated. Let's keep embracing new challenges, celebrating achievements, and supporting each other to make the rest of this year even more impactful. Stay connected with your school and NOLA PS through our social media channels for updates and resources. We're here to help our scholars attend today, achieve tomorrow.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mic.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Coming up at 6 today, Karen Arney in the building to have some more conversation with you. Make sure you check them out. That's at 6 this evening. It is like dark outside. Is it raining? It is raining? All right, so it's raining outside, so please be careful as you get off work and head on home. Slow it down. Here's some stats for you. Just want to make sure that you get the information and know what we're dealing with. This comes from CNN. It says, how much does it cost to bring in the military? It says $134 million to mobilize the National Guard and the Marines to respond to the Los Angeles protests. $134 million. And your parade, y'all know that's this weekend, right? Celebrating the Army's birthday with a show of tanks and more in D.C. could cost up to $45 million. To say nothing of what tanks will do to the streets. The agents out here doing this immigration sting, these raids, local officials in Los Angeles made it very clear that they are not communicating anything and telling any of the California, Los Angeles folks what they're doing. They're not communicating at all. I was thinking to myself, how do you go into a city and don't even tell the mayor or anybody what y'all doing? I'm just saying. Trump has built his presidency around stretching the bounds of presidential authority. And his response to protests over the immigration crackdown in Los Angeles is no exception. He invoked a rarely used law to federalize the National Guard over the objection of Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom and local officials who did not want to bring in the military. He said that he has the authority to take over the National Guard, but the move highlights the two-track command structure of National Guard units, which are normally deployed by a state's governor. So the question has been insurrection, rebellion, overwhelmed. The law cited by the White House to take control of the National Guard cites 3 reasons for the extraordinary step to be taken. It says that the United States or any other commonwealths or possessions is invaded or is in danger of invasion by a foreign nation, that there is a rebellion or danger of a rebellion against the authority of the government of the United States, or the president is unable with the regular forces to execute the laws of the United States. It sounds like all 3 to me, says Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, when asked during congressional testimony which reason the White House was citing. Thus, to the White House, protests launched by job site and Home Depot deportation raids are the equivalent of invasion, rebellion, and something the U.S. government doesn't feel like it can handle without the military. I said, what? You trying to tell me that ICE agents in full tactical gear driving up in vans in the Home Depot parking lot cannot handle those guys that were like, hey, Holmes, you need help? Put your hands up. Hey, Holmes. Hey, Holmes. Hey, Holmes. You need help? Dominoes, let's go. Y'all know y'all. Yeah, you go ahead and say it, G. Go ahead and say it. Y'all know good and doggone well that they sit in the parking lot at Home Depot to help. Hey, Holmes. Hey, Holmes. You need help installing that? We are spending $134 million to do these raids. Not raids everywhere. I'm talking about the LA raids. $134 million to bring in the National Guard, the ICE agents, and now the Marines. And now the ICE agents are riding around in vans in Home Depot. Hey, Holmes. Hey, Holmes. Why it sound like, what's the name? Cheech and Chong. Hey, Holmes. I went to bed last night. When I went to bed, I made the real mistake of leaving on my television so that by some chance I could see what was going on CNN. And I didn't sleep well because I kept popping up every time they said breaking news. I mean, I got folks out in L.A. Y'all know Mr. Harold out in L.A. too. So I got to tell you what I'm working on. I don't know if they're going to let her do it, though. Actually trying to worked with one of the producers at KCAL, KCAL television out in L.A., to see by any chance I can get some updates, recorded updates, emailed to us. Y'all know who at KCAL, right? Sheba Turk. And see if she can get us some reports and send them to us. So all of this mess is overshadowing what I think is important. Well, what you think is important? I'm glad y'all asked, because it seems like we have forgotten that June is also Black Music Month. What? Yep. June is officially known as African American Music Appreciation Month. It is a month-long celebration recognizing the significance as far as the contributions of Black musicians and the impact of their music on American culture. This year, the month will see various events and initiatives highlighting the history and influence of Black music. NPR Music will be celebrating Black Music Month with a series of programs highlighting the anniversaries of landmark Black music albums. The National Museum of African American Music is in Nashville. It's where? It's in Nashville. They're going to be hosting a month-long series of programs focusing on the history and influence of Black music, including a program called Bend Country, Black Roots and Rhythm, featuring a fireside chat with the War and Treaty. I got to ask this question. Wick, I got to ask this question. I got to ask this question on the air. You a DJ, so I'm going to ask. I was talking about Black Music Month being June. And all this crap is overshadowing, us talking about what we celebrate as far as Black Music Month is concerned. But I was reading this article, and it was talking about the National Museum of African American Music, which had been in Nashville. A lot of folks didn't know that Black music, that museum for Black music is in Nashville. So I think...
Isn't that where Stax Records comes out of?
No, Memphis.
No, it's Memphis, yeah.
I think a lot of folks forget, though, that one of the things Black people, as far as our culture is concerned, that we've always had that Black music root that I think, now I'm not certain on this, but I think, I probably need to go look it up, came from gospel, turned into blues, and even involved country western. We've always had
We're the
country
originators
western.
of country music.
Huh?
We are the originators
Yes.
of country music.
We've always had country western in our genre of music that we performed, sang, and had. So we got criticized, though. And I remember listening to, and I watched this documentary. I forgot who did it. I'm going to have to find it and bring it. Charlie Pride. Charlie Pride was criticized because he did country music, and that's all he knew. And he did country music over and over and over and over and again. He said he had more Black people to criticize him than white people were. And I was like, but weren't we the originators of country music?
Yep.
And blues. I just think, again, we saw a genre of music that was hijacked from us.
Let's just be honest. Excuse me. They're trying to hijack all of our music. Everything. They're doing hip hop. Stuff like Planet Rock, up-tempo tracks of that nature was created by us.
Mm-hmm.
And now they are trying to take it over and say that we didn't create that it's not from us. And we created, just like with house music, we created house music. And they're trying to take that genre over.
Mm.
They're trying to take over rap. They're trying to take over R&B. But they're not going to succeed on that, but they're trying.
So what we've seen as a group of people that, and this is why I always say, and this goes along with, and I'm bringing this up for a reason, it looks like everything that we have done in the past, when it comes to other cultures, it gets hijacked, and it's okay.
They take our leftovers.
But we never get credit for it.
No. Just like we created rock and roll.
Little Richard?
Mm-mm.
I'm just naming a few. Little Richard.
Well, Little Richard's one of them.
But it was stolen too by Elvis.
Yeah.
That's why you heard Public Enemy. And him, as they talked about him, they're saying that he was one of the ones that was the thieves. He stole a lot of our moves, gyrations, as it was called back then in the day. He moved that way, and that's why a lot of them went crazy. All the Karens went crazy when they saw this man on stage gyrating like he was a Negro.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is, again, how do we learn from these issues? Now, here's something to go. When Beyonce, I'm coming to 2024 now. When Beyonce said, I'm going to do a country album.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was like, oh, hell no. She from Texas. All she know is country first. If you from Texas, you more than likely than wore some cowboy boots, cowboy hat, and rode a horse somewhere. And she's country. And so she did that country album. Guess who came from that album? Shabuzi. Everybody's like, who?
Shabuzi.
Shabuzi is a country artist.
I like him.
I like him too. And it one of the biggest country songs of last year, and probably still is of this year. Until they saw what he was.
Yep. Oh, when the minute they saw he was black, it was like,
everybody was like,
you saw his faces turning upside down.
All right, let's go back even more. What was that song that Billy Ray Cyrus did with that boy? About my horse?
I have no idea.
You know what I'm talking about.
No.
Well, why you going to make me go back and look? I thought you was the DJ for real.
Just plain and simple. They want to be like us, but they don't want to be us. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, it's Billy Ray Cyrus and Lil Nas.
Oh, yeah. No, I forgot about that song.
One of the biggest country songs.
And they were having a fit of it because he's black and gay.
And
they were having a
and they
fit.
did not recognize that song as a country song.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking to myself, here we go, but we don't have control of record companies. We don't. A lot of us be listening and talking about Russell Simmons, and we be talking about him.
Russell Simmons is controlled by somebody else.
Russell Simmons is not the person that makes all the decisions for Def Jam. Def Jam is owned by a Jewish guy, and I think another company that distributes Def Jam.
Because Def Jam was originally owned by Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin.
Yep. Yep. They sold out.
Yep.
Sold out. Sony Music is not.
They sold out to the Island Music Group.
Who, Sony?
No, Def Jam. They sold out to the Island Music Group.
And Sony is owned by Chinese.
Yep.
Ain't just
Sony.
Yeah, it's Sony. Sony's owned. Let me see. Who else? When we saw MCA and all of them, they had disbanded. They're gone. So they sold to somebody else. And then you saw one of the young ladies' record companies that we thought was going to last for a long time and didn't. Madonna.
Yeah.
Maverick Records was hers.
Maverick was hot for a minute.
And then it's gone. So, but do we have national and international record companies that will put out black music? No, we do not. And I'm sorry to tell everybody that, because a lot of the record companies, of course, they disbanded because they got different ways now. Now these kids have gotten smart. What do you mean they got smart, G? What they got smart about was they stopped using record companies and they started doing companies themselves, where the majority of their music is on stream now. So they're streaming their music instead of saying, okay, I need a record company to get me a distribution deal or something of that sort. Now, of course, they're putting their ugly head in it and trying to make it about who's got the most streams and how they're going to do this and how they're going to do that. But these kids are getting smart. They're getting smart, saying I don't need a record company to do that. I can do it myself. So, all right, we got to take a break here. We'll do it for the last time on today and get you ready for 6 o'clock with Arnie and Carrie coming in just about 15 minutes. More coming up next right here at WBOK.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris.
We are the voice for the ones that can't speak.
They spit, we hit.
President Trump's claim that demonstrators have been spitting on officers despite no public evidence precede his order for 2,000 extra National Guard troops and 700 Marines to deploy in Los Angeles. These forces join the 2,100 Guard members since Sunday, marking the first federal activation of California's Guard without Governor Gavin Newsom's request in decades. California Attorney General Rob Bonta immediately filed suit, arguing the president has overstepped constitutional bounds and violated the state's sovereignty. On X, Newsom decried the move as illegal and immoral, while Mayor Karen Bass warned the influx of troops could spark chaos rather than quell it. With tear gas, rubber bullets, and fiery clashes still afresh in downtown streets, LA braces for another round of tension. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
The shocking news about the return of the skulls of 19 black Americans from Germany to New Orleans reminded me of a sobering quote by the late playwright, poet, and author James Baldwin, who said, "To be black and conscious in America is to be in a constant state of rage. That rage boils to the surface when confronted with the inhumane cruelty suffered at the hands of those who would be indifferent to our humanity. Such cruelty and inhumanity was inflicted upon 19 black Americans from New Orleans 150 years ago. After their deaths at Charity Hospital and denied a proper burial, they were stripped of their dignity, their heads removed from their bodies, and wrongfully and unethically taken to Germany for racist scientific research. They were exploited as part of a racist colonial pseudoscience theory that proliferated the belief that you could determine a person's intelligence by the shape of their skull, a seemingly insane means of attempting to prove the superiority of one race over another. After more than a century, the skulls of the 19 patients who died at Charity Hospital have now been returned to the Crescent City and honored with the burial they were denied in the 1870s. Dr. Eva Baham, a retired professor and researcher at Dillard University, led the repatriation committee. And we owe the modern-day German scientist, Dr. Baham, and her team gratitude for bringing them home and giving them a special homecoming. The unthinkable happened to them. This is Norman Robinson off the top.
Hey, WBOK, Ron Richardson here, host of a new show called Conversations with Ron Richardson. Join me every Saturday live from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. as we sit down and discuss mental health, disability, drug addiction, and everyday life issues. If you're ready to have a real conversation, let's get it started, New Orleans, every Saturday from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here on WBOK and streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
Saints of God, it's time for us to tell you the truth. It's time for you to start your 21-day challenge. Don't take another day. Do it right now. Call 504-701-4711. That's the Whole Water Stove, Pastor David Impartan Sr., the host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. This is the water that's designed to change your body, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you look. Why don't you start your 21-day challenge today? For $35, you can start it right now. Call me so we can set up your appointment. 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. Change your water, change your mind.
WBOK and LCMC Health are proud to present Keeping You Well Cafe. 60 Minutes with LCMC Health, where the doctors speak directly to the people of New Orleans. LCMC Health is committed to improving the quality of care here in New Orleans, the Gulf South, and beyond. The Keeping You Well Cafe is another way for LCMC Health to engage with the community. At the Keeping You Well Cafe, LCMC Health joins WBOK and local businesses to answer your questions about wellness and health.
Hey, Pontchartrain Park. Thanks for listening to WBOK.
Here we go. The Reality Check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back, y'all. I got to let you know about this, too, before we get out of here today. Job fair is happening June 28th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. at 2800 Perdido Street. Where is that, Gerard? That's at Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office. That job fair, they are looking for recruits, accountants, managers of the kitchen warehouse, general maintenance, engineers. Those are some of the positions that they will be looking for. Some of the benefits alone, boy, you should take the job because they got excellent compensation, Louisiana pension, 12-year retirement plan, excellent medical, dental, vision, and benefits, free life insurance policy, OPSO credit union, post-training after 6 months of employment, and a free gym membership. They got a gym in there, too. So you want to be a part of it. June 28th is your date. Write it down. 9 a.m. until 3 p.m., 2800 Perdido Street. It's going to be on the second floor, of course. I put the flyer up so that you can see the QR code as well, so that you'll be able to get some more information. All right, let's go to my boy. What? The stranger is here? Is this Vic? What?
Yes, sir. How are you doing, my brother?
Oh, man, hold on a minute. Let me look at the phone. Let me see. I knew it had to rain, and now I know why it rained. Man, where you been?
Yes, indeed. Look, I've been meaning to call you for quite some time, but there's an announcement I really wanted to get out to the public. And I told myself I need to talk to you about, off air. That's very important. But for this particular conversation, the Job Corps that's on Airline Highway, that is giving a great deal of assistance to a lot of individuals who fell through the cracks of our education system. Mm-hmm. The Trump administration is threatening to shut them down.
Yep.
We need
already
as many phone calls to our state, to our representatives in Washington, D.C., to stop this from happening. So, if this place shuts down, there are hundreds of young people, men and women, that will lose the training that they need to become the productive citizens that we need. So I'm asking everyone, get in touch with Cassidy, Kennedy, Troy Carter, Steve Scalise, and let these people understand that this will be a disaster for our community if this Job Corps is shut down.
So we talked about it earlier last week. They shut down the Philadelphia branch already. I know that Oliver Thomas, I think Eugene Green and a couple of the other council folks had a meeting about what are they going to do for financing because they don't want to shut it down. But there's also a federal judge that is supposedly putting a stop order of shutting these programs down because it's already been funded. And, you know, usually when Congress already funds something, you can't shut them down.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure it out. I haven't mentioned it today, but we did do a whole show about what's going on. And a lot of the officers that are there can't come on the air and talk about it because they're still employed.
Yes.
And that goes along with, you know, that goes along with you get on there and start talking about it, then you're going to lose your job immediately.
Yeah.
So,
well, I just wanted to get that word out, and I know you're a definite person want to get that too.
Yep.
But there's another issue I really need to talk to you about.
You know you're going to get that call. That call going to call. That's going to come right after I get out the air.
All right. Yeah, because there's something that I think you were the perfect person to direct me on addressing this particular situation.
Okay. You got that. I'll call you as soon as I get off.
All right. Okay.
Good to hear you. Tell the wife I said hello.
I sure will, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Bye-bye. All right.
Bye-bye.
So, I got 1 minute. So I got this email. Let me read it to you. It ain't going to take me 30 seconds to read it. Dear Gerard Stevens, I listen to you every single day. I really appreciate the stuff that you bring to the table for our community to hear. I was listening to you as you had the conversation about what we should do about the Trump situation. And he's talking about the ICE situation. I do believe that we need to help. And I think you may be a little bit overzealous by telling us not to. Thank you. That's in the email. Okay, you're entitled to that opinion. But I said what I said. And I meant what I said. Thank y'all very much. I got that off my chest. All right, folks, I'll see you tomorrow. Carrie and Arnie coming up next. Y'all have a great rest of the day. If you're driving this evening, please drive with care because that water ain't nothing to play with, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.